Marvel returns quite too soon with the first MCU movie with an Asian lead. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings hits theaters September 3, 2021, and here is my review for the film. Shang-Chi is not one of the most popular names in Marvel comic books, but it sure is an example of how not very popular Marvel comic characters are brought to life in an amazing manner by Marvel Studios. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is surely not one of MCU's top tier films, but it definitely is just close. It is a great origin story for MCU's first Asian lead. It was an amazing film which I really enjoyed. It has MCU references throughout it, as of course Feige never holds back on that. The action in the film is glorious. Despite seeing so many great martial arts sequences, it feels like I wanted more of those classic Asian martial arts in the film. There are many impressive set pieces throughout the entire film. The action in the movie is by far the best part of it. It has these huge epic battle sequences like Lord of the Rings, some really cool martial arts sequences like a classic Jackie Chan film, and some action magic stuff like Mortal Kombat. It feels like it was inspired from all those brands, and the product we got was a generic MCU action movie. The world building in this film is great. It has these deep mythology to explore that it does in a very fine way. Visiting the world of Shang-Chi and finally seeing the actual Mandarin really feels satisfying as an MCU fan. Simu Liu rocks as Shang-Chi. It does not look exactly like the comic book Shang-Chi in terms of looks, but his version of Shang-Chi is equally good. Mandarin, on the other hand, is the one who steals the scene. Mandarin is one of my favorite villains in the MCU. He's at least in my top 10. Mandarin leaves an impression at the end. He does not repeat the usual forgettable MCU villain formula like Taskmaster. Tony Leung delivers every line of dialogue with the devotion of making Mandarin a memorable villain. I think that the trailer showed a bit too much glimpses of the surprises we are getting in the film. As for other cast members, Awkwafina does not get a lot of attention to shine. However, Michelle Yeoh does have a lot of great dialogues in a small screen time. Sorry to say, but the direction from Destin Daniel Cretton is one of the weakest parts of the film. I was not able to appreciate the directing skills of Destin Daniel Cretton as he does nothing new. I never felt his presence behind the scenes while watching the entire film. In short, he directed the film in such a way that it does not feel unique to me. It feels nothing new. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings fails to make itself a unique MCU film. The visuals in the film are decent but amazing, especially when it comes to exploring the mythological world of Shang-Chi. The score of the film is on point and hands down the best MCU scores outside the Avengers movie. The visuals in the film are decent, as I said. The plot revolves around Shang-Chi, obviously, who is drawn into the clandestine Ten Rings organization while he is forced to confront the path he thought he left behind, executed in a way that feels really very entertaining and builds the third act in an incredible way. At the end of the day, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is not one of MCU's best films, but it surely serves as a great origin story for MCU's first Asian lead in Shang-Chi. The movie has direction issues, yes, and has a few writing issues, but it has some really cool action scenes. It dives deep into the Ten Rings mythology and gives us the real Mandarin as an apology to the fake Mandarin we got in Iron Man 3. It looks like a mix of Mortal Kombat and the League of Assassins. And yes, the trailers reveal something that should have been kept secrets for just the hype-building factor, but don't worry, there are still a few surprises here and there in the film. The pros of the film include huge and great action sequences, great performances from Simu Liu and Tony Leung, one of MCU's best villains in Mandarin, surprises for the sake of fan service, great visual effects, an amazing energetic score, and great humor. The cons of the film include the Destin Daniel Cretton's direction, feeling less unique and feeling like the general MCU movie, and has a few writing issues. So these were all the things that I thought about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So overall, I would like to give this film an 8.1 out of 10. It was a really entertaining film. It is surely a big screen experience, so I think you will enjoy it on the biggest screen possible. So that was my review for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Share your own thoughts in the comment section down below. And thanks to watch, like, share and subscribe Film Villa.